Good morning and welcome to the Rise and Grind Mastermind call. This call was started on September 8th, 2016. This is a mastermind group. What a mastermind group is a group of like-minded people who come together to accumulate a great fortune. The mastermind group concept was formulated by Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich, which was published in 1937. The motto of this call, if you listen to this call for the first time or if you're a consistent listener, is start your day with a vision. So when we say start your day with a vision, we're talking about today. So it's very important that when you wake up, you have a reason to jump out of bed with excitement to start your day with a vision. If you're wondering why we do this call on a consistent basis, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m., it's because we're sharing tips, ideas, things that we need to implement in our life or things that some of us have already implemented in our lives, or we found that successful people, whether it's successful people who have created some great audio books, some written books, some seminars that we may go to and learn great knowledge, whether it's law of attraction, biblical and spiritual principles. These are some of the topics and where we get our topics from that we share. So in today's call, what we're talking about today is how about now. Now, when you listen to the term how about now, think about your to-do list. Think about your goals that you have set for your life. Think about the next 5 years of your life. I went to a Jack Canfield conference, and Jack Canfield, he's a very famous author as well as I would probably call him actor because he was in a few movies. But Jack Canfield at his conference, One Day to Greatness, he talked about what's your 5-year goals, Now see what you can do to turn those 5-year goals into 3-year goals and those 3-year goals into 1-year goals. And then how about you start working on them now? So that helps me when hopefully they'll help you create a visual picture of what I'm talking about when I ask the question, how about now? How about now is basically overcoming that I'll do it later mindset. A lot of us want to achieve great things in our life, and we want to start on them in the future. We want to think about doing it sometime next year. We want to think about doing it sometime later on this week or sometime later on this month. Or maybe we just need a little bit more things in place so that we can work on them eventually. And what that really means is you're procrastinating. A lot of the things that you want to do for the next 5 years, there's minute habits that you're doing now that is creating an I'll do it later mindset. If you can think about it now, go ahead and write it down and get to the picture, get to the mindset of, okay, how about now? Writing it down is the first step because usually when we have a great thought in our mind as far as something that we want to do, when we don't write it down, it's just a delusion. It's just something that we think in our head. It could go away. We could forget. Maybe we'll remember later on. But when we write it down, that's the first step. So I know when we say the motto of this call is start your day with a vision, think about the biblical and spiritual concept when the Bible says write down the vision. It's very important that you write down the vision. I know we talk about affirmations all the time on this call. Your affirmations, of course, need to be written down, but not just written down, but written down and committed to memory. Or just in case you don't see that paper, you don't find that paper, you don't read that image, whether you have your affirmation saved on your phone or not, you have committed your affirmations to memory, like we commit to memory as young children, the Pledge of Allegiance, the months of the year, things of that nature. Commit your affirmations to memory and commit whatever your vision is for your life right now. It's very important that we get rid of that I'll do it later mindset because as a leader and being successful in life, people are counting on you to make change effective immediately. A lot of times when there's something that needs to be done, what separates people who are successful from those who are unsuccessful is basically how quick are you going to act on something. Are you going to act on something when you say you're going to act on something, or when it comes up? Are you going to put in the hours and stay up late while everyone is asleep? Are you going to wake up early while everyone is still asleep and do what you said what must be done because it needed to be done now versus later? A lot of us, we can write a whole to-do list, and basically you can title that to-do list the procrastination list because we're never going to get to it. Think about the things that you can create right now and cancel out your not to-do list as far as your I'll do it later mindset and create it how about now. I know that we did a call, it's based on, and the title of the call was Promises, and we talked about promises from God. What do you think God wants for you in your life? What are the promises from him? And a few people who listened to the call did the 100 Promises Challenge, where they wrote down, God is promising me good health. God is promising me good success in my life. God is promising me money. God is promising me abundance in all areas of my life. And what they ended up doing, a few of the people I talked to on the call, was realizing that your promises from God are actually things that you're working on right now, things that you believe that you can receive right now, things that you can act on right now. Because everything that we do, we need to respond to the message that God has given us. It's like a lot of us need to understand, it's not that we're waiting on God to do something drastically. It's like if you have faith, all you need to do is ask one time because you have faith that he's going to work. It's no need to beg and plead and consistently pray over the same thing. But when God says, make, what you want known to me, make your request known to me, once you ask that one time, you have faith that it's done. All you have to do is act. And a lot of us need to understand that. Stop procrastinating. Stop putting things in front of the things that need to be done. Stop not writing down what needs to be done, but start acting on everything that needs to be done right now. A lot of us are waiting for a manifestation or waiting for some drastic change or waiting. And then that time is going by. Day by day, a new day is coming. A new 24 hours is coming. That morning is coming. And we're realizing that we're not doing what we said we're going to do. I'm going to give you some examples of when we talk about the title of this call is how about now, that question. Just think about it. A lot of us say I can do it tomorrow. I don't have everything I need, so I'll wait. I don't have the time right now. Somebody else can do it better. In life, there's always somebody who can do something that you can do. And 9 times out of 10, there's somebody who can do it better than you can do it if it's not your area of expertise. But what we have to figure out, if there's somebody out there who can do it better than you, go ahead and hire that person to do it versus sitting on that project. Say, for example, you may not be the best. You want to create a new business. You may not be the best logo designer. You may not be the best person who can do a franchise disclosure agreement for your franchise that you're coming up with. But find out who can do it and get it done. If you find out who you can delegate the task to, it's better than it not being done at all. Also, and I just don't feel like I have time for it right now. That feel like I don't have time for it right now, it doesn't take it out your subconscious mind as something that needs to be done. Getting started is the most difficult part in life. And you need to continuously give yourself an assessment when you look at your to-do list as far as how about now? How about I knock this out right now? What's stopping you? What is holding you up? What's the reason for procrastinating? What we need to do is practice production before perfection. I know for myself, sometimes I feel like if I can't perfect the whole task, then why even start? Because I'm completing a lot of half-done things that I want to do around here. But you need to get out of your perfectionist mind and just start doing what you need to do if you believe that God is going to carry you the rest of the way. Starting is just the beginning, and that makes you successful right off the bat. There's so many people who are aspiring authors, entrepreneurs. The thought is in their mind, and the thought is going to stay in their mind. But how about now? How about you start right now, today? Is there anyone else on this call who wants to talk about how about now?
Hey, good morning, guys. This is Randolph, Mapp. So excellent topic, how about now? On another note, when you said the topic, I couldn't help but think about the pop song for Drake, What About Now? But how about now is a great topic again. What better time to do something than today? I know, putting off things, or like you were saying, I just need more time. That was like my go-to line during my active addiction, because I found every reason in the world not to do what I was supposed to be doing because I wasn't focused. I didn't have a foundation, or I wasn't even surrounded around people who were actually trying to do things with their life. So I know when I think about the topic, how about now? I have to think about who am I hanging out with now? Who am I surrounding myself with right now? Because, how am I spending my time right now? Those type of questions, because if I'm trying to be a productive person and, I want this success or I want whatever I want in my life, who do I have in my circle that I'm giving all of my time and attention to? And if I'm surrounding myself around people who aren't trying to do anything with their lives, like I was, like for me, like I was saying, I was around, I mean, I'm not going to call them low lives or anything like that, but I mean, I wasn't around a very sharp group of people. We were pretty much all slackers living day by day, not really worried about tomorrow or the next week or the next month. So my thing is, I had to totally regroup, refocus, and surround myself around a new group of people who had that same "what about now?" just for today mentality. Well, we're going to do this for today, and we still got what we want planned for the next week or the next month, but for today we're going to make sure that we handle A, B, C, and D, or as much as we can as possible. And so it took me a minute to adapt. That I did. At times I still procrastinate on things. Prime example. I mean, today I had an appointment I was supposed to be at 9 o'clock, and I told myself, should I set my alarm? Shouldn't I set my alarm? No, I always wake up on time. The biggest mistake that I made so far, I think, in 2017, because it was a nice business meeting. I rescheduled, and of course, I'm going to make things happen, but I could have alleviated if I would have just set my alarm clock now, at that point in time, which was now. So now, I wouldn't be having to go through, what I'm going through. But the point of the matter is, don't put off anything. Stop procrastination, Randolph, and whoever's listening to this call, and do what you can do for the moment. I think it's an awesome call, Timeka, and I'll pass it back to you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who wants to speak on the topic before I continue? All right. So I want to talk about, as far as how about now topic, it makes me think about, in life, a lot of people, as well as we know that there's opposition. There's opposition as far as we have good energy, positive energy, and then we also have this negative energy and negative stuff going on in this world where everyone does not want to see you succeed. Everyone doesn't care about you succeeding. So one thing I want to talk about when I refer to that in the how about now tense is a lot of the times the enemy is the inner me. So sometimes we know there's something that really needs to get done right now. But our subconscious mind tells us sometimes, oh, you can do it later. It's not that important. If you don't do it now, what's the worst can happen? But in our mind, our subconscious mind, we're failing. We're giving ourselves like a subconscious F. Like, man, I knew I should have got this done. Man, I knew I should have woke up early. Man, I knew I should have worked out today. We have to stop failing ourselves and get to the point where there is balance and we're consistently working on ourselves to make ourselves better. So just think about that, for example. When Randolph gave a good example as far as he didn't wake up, he didn't set his alarm clock. Think about it. It's not necessarily the enemy as far as the outward. It's your other subconscious mind. It's your inner subconscious mind that's telling you, hey, you can do it later. You can procrastinate it. It's not that important. So watch yourselves. Watch your mind. Think about your thoughts. When we say start your day with the vision, it just means think about what that vision that you want for today is. Don't let anything sway you, anybody sway you away from what your vision is, and focus on your thoughts. When we do this call, we talk a lot about your thoughts become things. What you focus on, it expands. What you give your energy, your time and attention to is very important because that's what's going to manifest in your life. It all starts from a thought. So if you don't see certain things as important, or if you're battling with yourself, yeah, this is very important, but I can do it later, you have to come to the conclusion of not just write a to-do list, but look at that to-do list and put it in categories. This is of great importance. This is something that realistically can be done between this time block, and this is something that just needs to get done at the end of my day. If you don't separate your to-do list into what's important, what's not important, and you fail because you didn't time block your day off and you didn't accomplish everything you needed to accomplish, then you're going to see yourself as a failure. And that's very important, to not see yourself as a failure, because it's going to do nothing but make you procrastinate more in life. Is there anyone else on the call who wants to talk about the topic of how about now? All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining this call today. I want you to make sure that you give yourself time to pray, to meditate, to think about what the vision is for your life. What I want to affirm is that it's never too late to create a to-do list. And don't just delegate a lot of tasks for yourself today. Separate them into time blocks to see what really needs to be done now. What is on that level of importance? What needs to be done at least by the end of today? And act on it, so that when you look at your day tomorrow, you can say, hey, I accomplished my vision for yesterday. Now let's focus in on my vision for today. If you accomplish the things that you feel are important for your life, for your particular vision, for your life today, you can actually feel like a successful person. Feeling like a successful person is the first step to being a successful person. But if you're battling with yourself as far as, I shoulda, I woulda, I'm failing already and the day has just started, you're setting the tone of how the whole day is going to go. And when you set the tone of how the day is going to go and you go to sleep grumpy, when you wake up the next morning, you're automatically setting the tone in your subconscious mind. So you have time to fix your day today, no matter what time of the day it is, whether you're listening to this call on one of our formats, Spotomatic, iTunes, Google Music. You have the time, as long as your heart is beating and that time is ticking, to change the way your day is going to go by focusing in on what you can do now to make yourself feel like a successful person. So thank you so very much for joining this call, and have a nice day.